How's it going, boys? Welcome back to Mogul Mail. Question for you. What do you want to be when you grow up? Say it out loud right now. What is your dream job? And I'm going to make a guess. If you're under the age of 18, I bet you said become a YouTuber. A recent study came out and it shows 75% of kids want to become a YouTuber when they grow up. Forget about fireman or astronaut. It's about being a YouTuber these days. And I get it. It's a cushy gig. You can make a lot of money.
Bruh, look at this dude.
A lot of people want to be a YouTuber. And honestly, why wouldn't you want to be one? It's a dream job that people would literally die for. When you're a YouTuber, you are the boss. You can do whatever you want to do and get paid for doing exactly that. You can choose your own hours, you can have fun while doing it, you don't have to do any hard labor, you can follow your passion, you could become filthy rich, and even better, you don't have to be special, you don't need any fancy skills or a college degree. Literally, anyone can be a YouTuber.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I actually started my YouTube channel. I thought to myself, I was like, man, I hope I can make enough money to where I don't have to get a job while I'm in college. That was my only goal. And I hit that goal in like 6 months. And I was even past that goal, like way past it. And I was like, hey, yo, fuck this school shit, homie. We gonna play WoW. Yeah, I just fuck this.
Sounds a bit too good to be true, doesn't it? I titled this video The Career Path of a YouTuber because... Okay, look, it sounded like a cool title, okay? Don't shoot me. Jokes aside, YouTube doesn't really have a career path, or at least not a clear, consistent one. I mean, sure, you can search for tips and tricks, you could follow the guides and all, but in the grand scheme of things, being a YouTuber is probably one of the most unstable and unpredictable occupations you could ever sign up for. I want to split this video into 4 main sections. This video will include timestamps in the description, so feel free to skip to whatever section you want. The difficulties. Now, many YouTubers have been very vocal about the fact that being a successful YouTuber is not all sunshines and rainbows. You have to remember that being a successful YouTuber does mean you will attain some level of fame, which on its own causes a lot of problems like privacy issues, doxing, stalking, online harassment. To add on to that, YouTubers frequently have issues with things like YouTube's inconsistent copyright system, burnout. I recently found out that YouTube actually punishes you if your videos don't do well enough. Not to mention, taking a holiday basically means putting your own career at risk or just straight up losing it, because your channel can often die if you stop posting. It's also one of the hardest jobs to maintain and keep alive for a long period of time. And of course, I think one of the biggest obstacles that YouTubers face every single day is that unpredictable income. You might be surprised to hear that most successful YouTubers don't make most of their money from YouTube. Often they have to rely on third-party methods such as selling merch, sponsorships, Patreon, and some even go as far as starting their own business. Alright, but let's put that all aside. I think we're already getting a bit too ahead of ourselves, because these mainly become problems after you've become somewhat successful. I want to talk about the problems you face before all that. If you are an aspiring if you are like me, then your main problem is not any of this. Your main problem is that you're getting no views.
The old woman just doesn't sound like an old woman.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to expose you like that. But hey, you and me both, buddy. I mean, pretty much everyone starts off like that. Here's the harsh reality of YouTube. While there are many tricks and methods you could do to maximize your opportunities, a lot of YouTube success is based on luck. And there's not much you can do about that. So when you're starting off, you just kind of have to, you know, keep going. Also, my Discord phone is going off. Sorry about that. This is why you silence your phone, guys. So when you're starting off, you just kinda have to keep going. Which leads to two problems you have to overcome: commitment and time management. Now, I'm going to say something incredibly controversial. And look, I'm sorry if this hurts your feelings, but it has to be said, alright? Look. You have a life. Believe it or not, if you're watching this video right now, I can almost guarantee that you have other things in your life that you need to get settled, that you need to finish, that you need to do. Whether it be, you know, studying, working, other commitments, hanging out with friends, families, watching anime. We all have very important things to do in our lives. And at this point in your YouTube career, when you're just starting out, you could potentially be spending hours, if not days, working on videos and then getting nothing in return. So what you will find is that when doing YouTube, you will have to find a balance between making YouTube videos and the things you have to do in life. Now, it's important to note that commitment does not mean you need to post daily or spend entire days working on it. What you need to do is make a little bit of space in your timetable just to work on YouTube. A specific time in the week or day where you can sit down and continue working on your videos while still prioritizing the other more important things in your life, like anime. If you can stay consistent like that, I believe you are on the right track to solving the first giant hurdles of doing YouTube. Now, the topic of commitment actually segues perfectly into the next section, should I go all in? Which, if you don't know, that basically means the process of which someone drops out of college or quits their job or quits anything that's taking a huge chunk of their time, all so that they have a lot more time to work on YouTube. Basically, it's the act of gambling your entire life on YouTube and hoping it goes somewhere. So the question is, should I do this? The short answer is no. Here is what Pewdiepie had to say about the topic.
Hey Pewds, I recently graduated high school and I'm gonna start college soon. The thing is that I'm really not fond of doing that, but I'm doing it anyways just to be safe. What I really want to do is work on my YouTube channel, make storytime animations as well as stream, but since I'm just a beginner, I'm obviously not earning any money from it, and college work really reduces my time to work on the stuff I really like to do. Would you recommend that I continue doing what I do or drop out of college sometime in the future? Well, absolutely don't drop out of college, my dude. Listen, I was extremely lucky, but I was still studying while making videos. It's entirely possible. Just keep it as a fun hobby, you know? It doesn't have.
But hang on, let's talk more about this. To be clear, it's not exactly a stupid idea. Because of the way YouTube works, the more you post, the higher chances you have of succeeding, and vice versa. If you're barely posting at all, like me, you are more likely to fail. But in order to post more frequently, you are either gonna have to hire other people to do it for you, like what companies do, or spend a lot more time working on YouTube. And hence, quitting your job or quitting college or university in order to give yourself that more time is a neat idea. And assuming that you stay committed, it actually kinda does work and will increases your chances. And also, wait a minute, hasn't there been actual examples of people going all in and succeeding? Yes, the most famous example of this would be none other than Mr. Beast himself, one of the most successful YouTubers on the platform who has over 100 million subscribers. Another example would be Markplier, a gaming YouTuber with over 30 million subscribers.
go to college. It's community college. It's not that expensive, whatever. And I just couldn't stand it, man. It made me just so depressed. I hate it. I hate stuff. I just want to be a YouTuber. That's it. And so after 2 weeks, literally just 2 weeks, I just stopped going. But I didn't have enough money to move out. I wasn't making anything. So I just didn't tell my mom. And then I would act like I was going to college. And then I would like just sit in my car in the college campus and just work on videos or edit or just work on a script or something. And then I'd come home and I'd be like, hey, Mom, college is great. And then I'd keep working. And
that can't last for that long.
Yeah. No, and thankfully, I don't remember what happened. I remember sitting in like on the stairs in front of one of the college classrooms. I was like talking to James, one of the people you met, and I was like, yo, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but like I've just been grinding every hour of the day, and I just made like 20 grand a month. I was like, I'm ready to like tell Mom that I'm failing every class and move out tomorrow. He's like, okay. And I picture that because it's like 11 p.m. and I'm just pacing, and then I'm like, yeah, Mom, I have zeros and everything. I haven't been going. And I was like, I'll move out tomorrow.
So you've had an incredible journey. So you first started putting videos up on YouTube. Is this right, about 8 years ago?
About 8 years, yeah.
You were at the time studying biomedical engineering?
Biomedical engineering, yeah.
How do you go from that to the other?
Oh, well, it's actually, it's fascinating because that was a very dark time in my life. I was working an internship and I got laid off from my job. I was in a bad relationship. I had a tumor. I just had all these different things that were hitting me all at once. And I remember I was lying in the hospital bed and I was just thinking to myself, I had no control over my life.
Sure.
I was only doing what people expected out of me. So when I wanted to like get out of that hospital and kind of get back on my feet, I wanted to do something that I had control of and that made me happy. So I tried a bunch of different things and then landed on videos.
So how did your family, I'm sure at first it was a little jarring to them, you know, you're studying biomedical engineering, a lot of people that doesn't lead to YouTube.
No.
Were they surprised at the time, and I'm assuming supportive now?
Oh yeah, my mom hated it.
Yeah.
My mom hated it so much. My mom is Korean.
Sure.
She really likes the idea of me being in school.
Yeah.
And so for the longest time I was lying to her. Not a good move. So I was and it was even worse because I was living with her at the same time. So I had to somehow leave the house for about 4 hours at a time, go to like a Starbucks or something and just sit around and wait. All right, class is done. Yeah, wow.
You fully fake jobbed her.
I really did.
Yeah.
I really did, yeah.
So, despite all of this, why is the answer still no? Because even if you post more frequently and increase your chances are still pretty low.
The amount of people wanting to make money off YouTube and Twitch is exploding, but far less than 1% will ever get there. On Twitch, just 1 in 15,000 people will click the start streaming button and actually ever earn minimum wage. And on YouTube, far less than 0.1% of channels will ever reach 10,000 subscribers. So almost everyone wants to be a content creator, but everyone that is starting that journey is pretty much doomed to fail.
It's like going from 1% to 5%. Not to mention, a lot of things are still left to luck and still heavily dependent on the type of content that you make. For example, you're obviously going to have a harder time if you choose, a very niche thing to do on your channel. When people talk about Markplier, MrBeast, and Pewdiepie and their past, there's one important factor that a lot of people are forgetting. You have to understand that back then, many years ago, when these YouTubers started their channels, the YouTube market wasn't so saturated. Look at today. All it takes is one Google search and it will tell you that over 1.5 million videos are uploaded to YouTube per minute. Because nowadays, everyone wants to be a YouTuber, and hence, that basically means you have a lot more competition, especially compared to back then, when YouTube wasn't as popular and not everyone wanted to be a YouTuber. Now granted, MrBeast, Markplier, and Pewdiepie were still lucky. and they themselves admit that. But their chances were definitely a lot higher compared to, let's say, if they started today. It's also more important to note that most other YouTubers didn't go all in until after they started seeing some potential success in their channels, or after they've already established a significant following. Now, I don't want to discourage you from taking risk. That's not what I'm saying. Life is full of risky stuff. But what I'm trying to say is that while many would gladly gamble their life on a coin flip, I'm pretty sure no one is going to spin a wheel where you have a 95% chance of losing. Think of it like this. You have heard stories of YouTubers going all in and succeeding, but I can guarantee you that you have most likely never heard a story of a YouTuber going all in and failing. Probably because, well, because they failed. Making it a job and setting goals. Saying something like, I'm going to start a YouTube channel and make a living off it. That's exactly the same as saying something like, I'm going to start a diet and lose all of my weight. Not only are you being incredibly vague, you are essentially placing the final boss of the game at level 1. Like most goals, you have to break it into smaller, more reachable steps. If your first goal of making a channel is to quote-unquote make a living out of it, then you're going to burn out really quickly. I'm going to give you what I think should be the first 4 steps of doing YouTube, and from there you're going to have to figure out the rest on your own. For your information, I am still stuck on step 1. The first step is obviously, well, to post videos. It's kind of obvious, well duh, you can't build a following if your channel has no content. But step 2 might actually shock you a bit. The second step is to make friends. What? What the Wait, what? Are you saying I have to touch grass? No, son. Digital grass. Okay, sorry. Let me translate this word so that it suits your taste more. Step 2 of YouTube is to find and maintain loyal viewers. Oh, suddenly you're really interested, aren't you? People who will watch your content regardless of when or what you post. I want to give a tiny shout out to Mike, Justin, and Alime, who have all left a comment on all of my newer videos ever since they discovered my channel.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer? Every night, I can feel my leg, and my arm, even my fingers. The body I've lost. The comrades I've lost. Won't stop.
Oh, by the way, I totally didn't steal them from another YouTuber that they just so happened to watch. Yeah, we don't talk about that. These are the people you want to latch onto, the ones you want to interact and communicate the most. Obviously, you want to interact with everyone who appears in your comment section, but these are the people you want to make sure you want to maintain. Now, how do you get loyal viewers? Well, there are mainly 3 ways, but I'm sure there are other ways of doing so. Firstly, you could just keep on posting until eventually someone shows up in your comment section. And look, it might take a very long time, but someone will eventually show up. You just have to commit. The second option you could try is purchasing ads for your channel. Now, I'm sure everyone hates ads, but believe it or not, they do actually work and they do bring in viewers. In fact, I actually know a few people who watch a YouTuber only because they saw an advertisement for their channel. Now, whether they actually stay, of course, is another story. Now, there's a third way of getting loyal viewers and you have to be careful how you go about with this. But I feel like the best, most effective way to get loyal viewers is to be a loyal viewer yourself for other channels and communities. Earlier I said friends, because from my own personal experience, all of the comments that have been posted on my channel so far have all been, well, mostly have been from people that I actually know very well, and like, you know, people I met online, because all of us here actually come from another YouTuber's community that all of us are a part of. They're called Lich and Lily. The people I stole viewers from. Wait, sorry, what did I just say? I am basically friends with every single person who frequently watches this channel. Wait guys, we are friends, right? With that said, the reason why I said you have to be a bit, you know, careful with this method is because, well, obviously don't directly advertise your channel on other people's Discord and YouTube. I don't think I need to explain why that's just really rude, and trust me, it will only harm your reputation. Frankly, it shouldn't be your main motivation. I didn't join Lich and Lily because, oh, these people might subscribe to my channel one day, even though they did. I joined because, you know, they were very chill and like I really liked the friendly community and I wanted to be a part of that. And that's just how it is, you know? You need to, I know touching grass is very difficult, but you know, you gotta put yourself out there, be a part of communities.
Guys, it's too much! Excuse me, it's too much!
Step number 3 is to continuously repeat step number 1 and 2 until you've eventually created your own community. I recently found out that Discord is a beautiful place to facilitate a community, and I highly recommend making one once you think you have enough people. The 4th step is to get partnered. Now, to get partnered on YouTube, you have to aim for about 4,000 valid public watch hours in the last 12 months. So in other words, in 1 year, you need to get at least 4,000 watch hours. And you also need to have more than 1,000 subscribers, which to be honest is actually a lot lower than I thought it was, which is, you know, good for everyone. Getting partnered is pretty much the first step to actually making money or any sort of money on the platform. It's tiny money. It's like a very small amount of money. Definitely nothing to depend on. And you also have to think about the fact that YouTube does take a cut from it, but it's a start. And because once you are partnered, you can actually earn ad revenue from playing ads on your videos. And another thing is that viewers can actually donate to you by becoming a channel member. Channel members, if you don't know, they basically donate a certain amount of money per month. Now granted, when people become channel members, you might have to give them some perks, but again, let's not go into that. The next section is the best approach. This is going to sound really cliche. So cliche that you are physically going to roll your eyes when I say it. But I strongly believe that the best approach to doing YouTube is to do it for fun. Now this phrase has been butchered to death to a point where it's kind of lost its meaning. But if you think about it, it's the truth. I'm telling you right now, no joke, if you're doing YouTube for fun as a hobby, you can literally forget everything else I just said in this video. Because if you think about it, it literally solves every problem I was just talking about earlier. You're not getting enough views? Well, who cares? You're still having fun. You're not posting enough videos frequently? Well, that doesn't matter because someone who's doing YouTube for fun will post whenever they feel like it. Not making enough money to make a living? Well, money isn't the end goal because you just want to have fun. You will find that pretty much most small channels on YouTube are being done as a side hobby while the creator of that channel has, you know, a real life job that they rely on for income. Ironically, doing it for fun is actually the best way to grow a channel. Why? Because you are actually more likely to keep going and persist longer compared to someone who's constantly grinding and pumping out as many videos as they can, because doing that is only going to burn you out quicker. When you do it for fun, it becomes something, you know, instead of, yes, I earned another subscriber, it becomes more like, oh nice, someone who just so happened to share the same interests as me subscribed to my channel. Now you might be asking, Nathan, why did you start a channel? Well, I will be honest that a small part of me does kinda wish that maybe, just maybe, this channel could become something more. With that said, the real main reason was because I wanted to do something fulfilling. Something that I can enjoy doing but will still leave me satisfied with how I used my time. Something that doesn't make me feel like a lazy person by the end of the day. This is actually the exact reason why I started writing stories in the first place. I mean, there's a secondary main reason about fan fiction, but let's not talk about that. You know, I love anime. I love to read manga. I love to watch YouTube. I love playing games. But for me, none of these things are ever going to give me that same sense of satisfaction every time I finish making a video or post a chapter on my story. Personally, my one goal with this channel is to one day look back at my channel and see all of the videos I created on one full page and just, you know, admire it all. That is my goal. I want to end this video with a clip from Pewdiepie talking to his audience. In fact, it's part of the same clip I showed you earlier. And he said something to his audience that I honestly never even thought about. And I strongly believe that you, me, and every person thinking of doing YouTube needs to hear and listen to what the most successful YouTuber on the platform has to say. Give it a listen.
Well, absolutely don't drop out of college, my dude. Listen, I was extremely lucky, but I was still studying while making videos. It's entirely possible. Just keep it as a fun hobby. You know, it doesn't have to be your job to enjoy it. I think what a lot of people don't realize is that as soon as your hobby becomes your job, it completely ruins the joy of it being a hobby. So keep your job, keep it as a hobby. If it goes better, you know, great. Then you can start thinking about that. But I think you're a little too early to asking this question.
What makes this industry so risky is that the way to become a successful YouTuber is always going to rapidly change as each year goes by. So, is it a career worth pursuing? Should YouTube even be considered an official job? Let me know what you think in the comments, whether you disagree or anything you wanted to add. Let me know what you think in the comments. My name is Nathan J. Writing, and thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.
What's up, boys? So I've wanted to do this for a while. A lot of people have asked for it, and we're finally going to do it. Today, I'm going to show you all how I cook a steak. I know how to...
We have the Ludwig for Pokemon Black and White 2. You should all be familiar at...
Alright, we're in. You know the plan, right? What am I saying? You practically wrote it. Everything you need is in your bag, so...
We're currently at an abandoned hospital with over 100 different rooms and 6 different buildings surrounding it. This is $100,000 in cash, and whichever one of you I touch last keeps
to my new office, my very barren, empty room. Hopefully it doesn't echo too much. But it's in Japan. I would show you outside, but I don't want to dox myself right away, at least.